Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Let's talk about wholeness today. We're going to be talking about wholeness this morning. Wholeness, yes, let's talk about wholeness. Um, I hope that this is going well for everyone. It is Tuesday. It is our day 19. Yeah, it's day 19 of the 40-day challenge. I want to say thank you for everyone that has been a part of the challenge. I hope that you're taking away some vital information. The stuff is really starting to get good now, and we're really going to have to do some soul searching. So I hope that this is beneficial to you. One of the things that really inspired me to do this, not only to break old habits and create new habits, was that in my profession, I get to see everything. As they would say, I hear everyone's secrets. But I just want to teach just simple and practical self-care things. Because 9 times out of 10, a lot of people will not ever go to see a psychiatrist or a psychologist or even have a counselor. But I urge you, if you just do it at least once a quarter, find you a counselor, a life coach, a mentor, someone that you can just detox to and have that confidentiality there that it's never going to be hurt again. That's why I really suggest that you get you a counselor, a licensed counselor, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, someone that is bound by law not to talk about your business ever again. Um, so that's the good things about having a counselor. You can tell them everything and they can't say anything about it. But also it helps you to get rid of those toxins that have kind of become ingrained in your mind. Today we are talking about wholeness, wholeness, wholeness. If you, I've learned this today about Periscope. As y'all can tell, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable about video chatting. So I on the screen down there, if you just tap your screen and give me some of those hearts, they say that's good Periscope etiquette. Please give me hearts, but I did learn that the more hearts you get, it makes your Periscope conversation more public, so more people can become a part of it. And being a psychologist, I want people to be whole. It's something about being whole, and that's just not a whole in your mind, whole in your body, just whole in your daily living, that you can maximize, like we talked about yesterday, our capacity and just things such as the unlimited potential. But today we're talking about wholeness, and I just kind of I don't want to be spiritual because in the Bible it talks about one thing when I was studying for this topic. I was thinking about in the Bible when Jesus asks, Do you want to be made whole?" And that's something that I am a thought based psychologist, so I can only deal with your thinking. If I can correct your thinking, I'm not trying to help you come up with a solution. My main goal in my office is dealing with the thought. If I can get you to think a thing into existence, then we can accomplish. If I can't correct your thinking, we're not going to be able to correct your situation. So that scripture really ministered to me about, do you want to be whole? At the end of the day, regardless of what's happening, what circumstances you are facing, if you don't take control over it and speak positive about that situation and bring it internally first, you're never gonna go. You're always gonna be dictated by your circumstances or your encounters or your experiences, and they're gonna keep you limited. So when we go in to dive into being whole, just think about there's two sides of the word whole. But you got to think about that you are a part of something much bigger than you are. There's an energy or a force inside of you that drives you, and it's not just based on where I am in a moment of time. Yeah, in a moment of time, it's so much larger than that. So when you think about it, you think about your potential, and you have control of that, regardless if it's a good potential or a bad potential. It's an energy of potential, and how do you want that to govern you? I'm reminded of Hamlet. Some of us read that in high school. To be or not to be, and we know that in that the soliloquy that he was going through, that whole dialogue back and forth, he was having the thought of suicide, and we have committed suicide on a lot of things in our lives. We've committed suicide to our dreams. We commit suicide to our careers. We commit suicide to family. Whatever it is, even though we haven't really committed suicide and left the physical earth, we commit suicide in things inside of our thinking. Because of something that has happened in our past, we have allowed that to dictate who we are today. So I ask you again, do you want to be made whole? Do you want to be made whole? Is it to be or not to be? You have the power to dictate that. Nobody else. You cannot allow outside experiences control your internal peace. Okay? Do you want to be made whole? So when we think about being whole, you have to embrace your total being. That's an emotional acceptance. Okay? Maybe I was sexually abused as a young person. No, I'm divorced. I don't have the career that I want. I don't have the education I want. Okay, great. That is what emotions are derived from those experiences. That was something that happened in a moment in time, but that does not make you who you are. Okay, so we gotta think being whole. Who are we being whole? And there's, you have to do not deny who you are. Okay. And I'm kind of backtracking through the container because I really deal with things about container. And as adults, we are living out of past experiences, so that dictates who we are, our wholeness as an individual. And that's not. Yesterday I talked about our capacity, our capacity, and that capacity is your vision. Who do you want to be? Who do you see yourself being? And what tools are you implementing to see that? Also, I discussed when you think about capacity, think about your legacy. What imprint do you want to leave behind? What message are you trying to impart in the earth? Do you want to be made whole? So do not deny, we're not denying ourselves. So it is our end goal from the time we enter to the time we leave, that in between the dash of life, who are we? What defines that? And our vision, yet again, I asked you in the beginning of the challenge to come up with what do you want to see yourself in 2016? Okay? As a long-term goal, overall 2016, what does that look like? Break it down into small steps. What does it look like in the next 30 to 45 days? What does it look like in the next 2 to 5 years? And then from the next 5 to 10 years, who are you? What are the goals? What capacity do you have to make that happen? But do you want to be made whole? So when we think about the source of the wholeness, we think about, it comes from the Saxon word how, which means whole, or a greeting of wholeness. So when you meet somebody, first of all, in our salutation, are you present in that moment? Or are you just doing something that's a ritual? When I see you, what do I embody? Do I see a whole person, or do I see somebody who is present physically but not there mentally? So how do you we always say bring your whole self to the meeting, your whole self. That means I am actually present. I'm not distracted by what has happened, what shall happen, or what will happen, but I am actively present in the moment. And we look at a lot of things in the science of being whole, or being holistic. How we want to look at it, they spell it two ways: the WHO or the HO. So, are you holistic? And to me, when I say the science and the spiritual side of that, when you've been holistic, there's that meditation time, that aura, that energy that you embody. That's the science of it. And then there's the spirituality side of it. Have you come to peace or reconciled those things in your past that are keeping you from being whole? And a lot of things that, and the reason I really want to deal on that past piece, because that is really dictating our present moment, of being whole. A lot of times we have had encounters or experiences in our life that has defined us as individuals. And it's often said that we experience things not for ourselves but for others. So we have to understand that most times things that we encounter in life are a part of our purpose. And our purpose is our calling and our part of our destiny steps. So don't allow things that have happened to you, allow them to become personal. Dust it off like it's dust and keep on going, because that is a lesson. Sometimes we have to learn from the lesson. And I always say, release the pain and embrace the lesson. Because if we don't have certain experiences, certain encounters in our life, it does not develop us to be the people who we are, or to become, or who God has called us to be. So, I just want to just kind of stay right there. And I ask you guys that if you're not journaling, please be journaling, because there's some things in our life that we have not come to reconcile with, and I really want to deal with that soulish thing today. There's things that have happened that we have soul ties to. And I'm not talking about soul ties when it comes to a sexual connection, but soul ties to relationships, people, things, locations that we are trapped. We're stuck in that place, that moment in time, and we're not whole. We're still living in what you say 1970s, 1960s. It's 2016. We have to release that moment in time so that we can be whole. And I just tell you my own personal story. And I was molested from the ages 7 to 14. At the same time that was happening, my parents went through a divorce. So one thing that we do teach or you learn in psychology is that by the age 8, an individual has defined who they are. And so when they go into their adolescence years, they are actually becoming what they have defined from that adolescence or the age 8. Now we're pushing it back to the age 5 because of technology. But the age 8, I have already defined who I am. So when I was going through that time in my life, it wasn't to college that I was battling with who am I? Who am I? Would I allow and for a long time, those experiences, those encounters dictated my personality, dictated how I was feeling in the moment. I talked about on an earlier video, our feelings. We allow our feelings to keep us from being proactive or doing things in life because it's attached to something that we have encountered. Don't allow our feelings to trap us in a moment of time. So go back to my. So after dealing with being molested, going through, trying to figure out why this happened, what should I do? It put me in a place of, is that all I have to offer? So I tried to find validation in friendships, validation in relationships, validation from my family, or affirmation from my family. It made me become a professional student because I was just trying to, okay, well, this part was taken from me, but what now do I have to offer? So maybe I need to pursue an education so that I can gain this or gain that. But then it was after I got my master's degree that I am not my degree, I am not my experiences, I am not that moment in time. I am much, much greater. There's much more to me than have an experience where I was sexually abused, have an experience where my parents went through a divorce. Those are the things that I can now take. I have embraced those experiences or those encounters so that when I go out and meet, especially in my profession as a psychologist, I have more empathy for people because I've been there. Now let me help you through the process. Let me help you connect. How do you come out of that? So my wholeness is not based on what I've experienced. My wholeness is not based on what I've encountered. My wholeness is all a part of who am I, where do I see myself going, and what do I want to become. So we all have bad days. We all have bad days. But I can allow my bad days dictate my future. So when we're whole, we have come into a place of resolve with our past. We've come to a place of resolve with our spiritual relationship. One thing that balances me is my relationship with God. When I'm having a tough day, I can pray it out because I know that it's by faith that we receive. Faith without action is dead. So I can't say I'm whole based on my moments. And that's something about faith. Faith is not based on the moment. It is the evidence of things unseen. Okay? It's the evidence of things unseen. I don't see it, I don't feel it, but I have the faith to believe it. So my wholeness is wrapped on my end result. What do I expect from out of this? Not based on what I'm experiencing in the present moment. So I'm really challenging you to be whole. Okay? Whole. Find a place of resolve. Go back and deal with those things that we have experienced in that soulish realm, so that our spirit man now can be positive energy, so that we can be able to impart that into other people, bring other people out of those bad experiences. Don't allow your experiences to define who you are. That's one reason why we can't experience wholeness, is because we're living out of our past and not our present. Embrace your present day. Come resolve with your past so that you can be whole, lacking nothing. Okay? Lacking nothing. And when I say lacking nothing, it's because I'm at peace of where I am. And I have attainable goals to where I'm going. Alright, I hope that blessed you. I will be on later today because I have got a lot of responses on my sneak peek. Nobody cares about your feelings. And we really don't care about your feelings. But I want to dig in deep to that because that got your attention. So I'm going to be talking about feelings are overrated later this evening, probably around 7. So I'll dig in that. But please find wholeness. Wholeness. Come to grips with your life. Come to grip with what has happened. And don't get trapped in what has happened. Embrace the lesson and release the pain. Become whole, lacking nothing. Hamlet said it, to be or not to be. Stop committing suicide to your purpose. Do you want to be whole? Jesus said it. You have control over it. I have the resources. When I say there are resources available, but at the end of the day, you have control. Do you want to be made whole? Alright, lacking nothing. Remember 2016, we are going after everything. And we are putting practical tools in place that we have leaving nothing behind in 2016. Have a great day. If you do not follow me on my social media, it's Davion Wallace 85. That's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope. Also, please follow me on my website, DavionWallace.com. There you can get more insight on my itinerary, as well as if you need a psychologist in the DFW area, you can also request an appointment from my website. All right, have a blessed one. See you later.